Hey everyone, been a few months since I came up here to the train deck, about 4 months, and well, I just happened to make it here as the train's passing by. You can see about where the edge of the deck is. So this is about about as close as you get to the trains, where you get to see them. But anyway, like I said, it's been about 4 months. I came up here around Christmas. Did a video of the deck, and well, I was riding by the other day and I saw this fence. They put up a fence. And I said, well, been about 4 months, so why not let's go up there and make another video. Let's see how this train deck is holding up after 4 months. Bear in mind, if you watch my other video, you know some of my complaints about this deck. This $100,000 deck, $110,000 deck, and that one of the things is it's not protected. It has no sealant on it, which means it's going to start falling apart. Which means, like I said in my last video, in less than 20 years, without sealant and without upkeep, this deck's going to be trash. It's just going to be wasted money. So I figured, since I saw the fence up, it'd be a good time to come back and see just what's been done, especially since they spent the time and money to install a fence. So if they spent this time and money to do a fence, let's go see if they've actually protected it, because I know that they ain't did the other thing that I said. So anyway, let's get started. This fence is kind of like the fence you see at a lot of hotel pools and all that type of stuff. You got to pull this little thing to get in. It's about 6 foot off the ground. They can lock it, but let's see if it's unlocked. All right, so it's unlocked. Come on in. Take a look around. Cause I think it was when I was here at Christmas time was when they just took the signs off and let you come on it, after they had already went through one round of fixing repairs from people coming up here where they had took pictures and showed the stuff that was wrong with it. Anyway, like I said, no sealant. You can tell that plain as day that this has no sealant, no protectant on it. So over time, the screws are going to start stripping out, and wood's going to start warping, breaking easy, cracking easier, because I don't know if you can see this, but it's a little after 6. There's the sun going that way to set, and it actually starts over there in the morning. So you got a good 14 hours of direct sunlight on this unprotected deck. So let's go back and see some of the things, and because I know some of this stuff that it couldn't be fixed, like the fact that this is one board. Don't know if y'all remember, but it's not even screwed to this. That was a 6x6. This 6x6 is actually notched in for them to put this 2x12 on. May not seem like such a big deal, but there's some points on this where it's going to make a big deal, especially because the point of doing this, like right here, is this should be resting on this board. It's not. Most of them it's not. Which means the weight is being supported by these 2 bolts through the wood. That's what's supporting weight all the way around this thing. It's not even using this, the advantage of doing this in the small locations. All the way along here. That gap. That's not good. Especially with the weather and being unprotected. So, again, I don't know how deep that crack goes. Goes pretty decent little amount. But again, this wood only has the treatment on it that comes from the plant where it's made, shaped basically. It's not treated. Again, you see this board right here, that from there all the way over to there is cracked completely in half. Again, with combination of rain and that sun, is going to demolish this. Looking for stuff I might have saw last time and new stuff. But I mean, like I said before, it's a good idea. They just way overspent on I'd say 12 foot wide, 12 to 14 foot wide, about 80 foot long deck. Shouldn't have cost 100. Like I said, I think it was 110. Don't know if that fence was included. And I think they've put up more fence. Let's see. But again, like I said, my 2 biggest complaints, other than the money, is no protectant and no roof. I went to Folkestone. Let's see, what's today? Friday? On Monday, I went to Folkestone. And when I was in Folkestone, I just happened to be by one of their train platforms. Now, their train platform, literally, one of them, is probably only this long. But what did their train platform have? Their train platform had seating and a roof. Where they've got like literally like an 8x8 coming through there, an 8x8, an 8x8 comes up, and it does a little A-frame roof to protect you from the rain and the sun, so you can sit back, which is what you do on this side of their platform, and watch the trains. And on their little deck in Folkestone, there was about 10 people sitting there watching trains. It appears we got a train coming right now. But like I said, in the time that I was there, watching, which we weren't there to watch trains, but we ended up going right there to the deck. And but we ended up going to the deck, and like I said, their deck is probably the main little section right here. The deck, the train platform that we went to is probably half of this. And there was 10 people on it, sitting down or standing up, watching trains, a bunch of different little cars there, so they all didn't come together, and just kick back watching trains. Like I said, this one right here, $100,000 on it, and no seating. Like I said before, whatever, there needs to be a bench type thing that goes over here. Benches that go all the way down to there. $110,000, you think that would have been included. Eight by 8 or 10 by 10 right here that comes all the way up, maybe a good 16 feet. One maybe right there, one right there, and one right down there close to the thing with a little A-frame roof over it, just like they have in Folkestone, because that's how they did theirs. And you give a chance to people to be protected from the sun and the rain, and they can enjoy trains. This was more than likely built for tourists. Tourists ain't gonna come out here and sit on this hot daggum deck all the time and watch stuff. They'll come up here, do a little stuff, and leave. The intent behind this is gone because of that. One of the things I was going to point out, because like I said, I was up here just to see how it's coming along, and I don't know if any of y'all have noticed, the weathering, like I said, would happen in the video I made about 4 months ago, has already started to happen. The wood is graying a little bit and all, but I've noticed two distinguishable things that is already falling apart just looking. Can you see that? Either it had screws in it, and they've come out, or the screws are stripped down through the hole. But that one's up a good, oh, I don't know, on the high side, ½ inch. Can you see right down there? Let's take a look. The whole width of that board is above the other. You can see the screws in the top of it. And the wood's warped. So it's not just a matter of those screws not holding. The weathering from it not being treated has already caused that board to bow. A lot more of these boards are going to start bowing the same way because of lack of treatment. But you're going to have more and more of this deck just start falling apart. because of that. Not to mention accidents that will happen because of this stuff. Somebody walking down there to look at the train, or little kids or whatever, and they don't see that, and they trip. I mean, that's just... Then how much does this deck end up costing? Because of it not being treated and it being bad. That board's cracked all the way through, almost. Again, and I point out when I talk about the notching that took place on some of these boards. I don't know if y'all remember. But on these right here, on these right here, this right here has been notched. There's 2 of these in here together. But this one's just 1, but there's 2. So this right here has been notched into about right there, and then into about right here. That's how much wood out of this support is missing. And it happens like that all the way down. Still got that massive crack that goes all the full length of that. And it's deep too. But yeah, they saw something else too. I don't remember where it went to. That one's cracked clean in half. Started right there, and then the cracks go all the way down. This one's going to end up falling down. And again, lack of treatment. Okay, so other than some cracking, the 2 worst things right now that are falling apart after 4 months that shouldn't be falling apart is that board and this board. Looks like I put a fence there too with the little entry thing. Let's see if these have been cooked on yet. No. No. There's some rust from it being installed, but these have not been cooked on at all. Not once. Still got the chains all messed up, so you can't use these rocking chairs. those they actually have right. You actually can use these rocking chairs now. And I know why the chains are on them. The chains are on them to keep them from being easily stolen. You'd have to have 2 or 3 people carrying those 4 chairs to get them out of here. So, I mean, that's the smart thing, but those down there are just, that needs to be fixed. Got your Walk of Fame still here from the cartoon people. I'm going to walk the outside down there and see just how much of this is actually fenced in. I'm pretty sure, I know that this fence goes all the way down to the other side of the rail, to the rail depot, and then cuts to the front. And then it comes across the front too. So yeah, so this whole thing is actually fenced in now, down to this end. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick little video of what it's like here now. I mean, they have this that I'm standing under right here. This part right here. Where they've already got rocking chairs. They've got the roof. They've got this little nice little old-timey section right here where you could sit. Let me clarify. Where no one is sitting watching trains and no one's there. If I were going to come here and watch trains in the daytime in Waycross, which most Waycross people ain't going to do, we see enough trains. That's why I said that had to have been built for tourists, and tourists ain't going to sit up there on that damn deck and just bake to watch some trains. They're smart too. They'll come sit here in these daggum rocking chairs, which means that whole daggum deck was built for nothing. Wasn't needed. All that was really needed was a bench right here and a bench right here. You could have got them from Lowe's for $100. Not a bench, picnic table. Picnic table here, picnic table here, and right in there where they built the damn deck, 2 picnic tables. The gravel down, 2 picnic tables. Bam. And bammo, I would have saved the city of Waycross $109,000. That right there, you can actually hear I guess you hear the train conductors as they go by. I guess that's what that's for, something to do with them. Or better yet, they could have put a picnic table there, picnic table here. Keep these 2 little things. A couple of picnic tables there. Or maybe 1 picnic table over there and a small play set. Bam, saved them $105,000. Instead of this deck that's never going to get used because it has no seating and it has no roof. And yes, the tourists aren't going to come here with that. Just a waste of money. Also, not that it's a big deal. There is, not that I've seen, let's walk down here and look. One, I know there's no bathroom here. So, if some people have to go to the bathroom, do you think they're going to leave? Or do you think they're going to find a spot and hide and go to the bathroom? Me, even though I believe in people, most people are inherently good, I think you're going to find a lot of people just finding an easy way to go to the bathroom if they should be here. Secondly, what I'm looking for right now, I'm looking for a water spigot. And I'm looking for a water spigot for a reason. Not if people are up here are dying of thirst or whatever. But because of them two things right there. Yeah, I know people are going to grill with charcoal, but still, some of it could get out. Ember here, ember there. Right on top of the pine straw. Cooking right above this big giant ball of fire. And again, like I said, I don't see water anywhere. If somebody was to try to cook something here, I mean, yeah, granted, they may have soda on them or they may have bottled water on them or something like that. But if something got off there and ignited that pine straw, you think they're going to be able to put it out with a bottle of water? So this is stuff I didn't even look for last time. I didn't think about it. If they would have did that Traindeck right, they could have marketed it right and had people coming here like the people that go to Folkestone. There you go, water spigot. That is running. But way down there is where the cooking is supposed to happen. And not a single water spigot anywhere down here, anywhere. Might be a hidden one I haven't seen. But I would think it would have been on the side of the building, like that one was. If anything, simple, I mean, they need to have a couple of fire extinguishers hanging there or somewhere or whatever. I know that they'll come up with some excuse like, oh, well, people misuse them or whatever. But you know that's not going to happen as much as the potential of a fire. With that dead pine straw right there. Again, no. I'm just giving it a chance just to see them. Check down here and see if there's, but I mean, even way down here, if there was to be one along this fence line, you're going to end up just as far away almost as that one that's way down there. I hadn't checked the outside over here to see if anything is already starting to deteriorate. Uh-oh. Well, apparently there was a water spigot there. But even that is this far away. From where the cooking's supposed to happen. So, one water source. And like I said, I'm not thinking of it from a drinking point of view. I'm thinking of it from a fire point of view. There's your board that's coming up on this end. Looking to see if I can see any other starting other than that one. Looks like the one next to it, right on this side of it, it looks like it's starting to hump up. Like it's coming loose. What in the world? Don't know what caused that. Let's see if that one next to it's coming loose. Doesn't appear like it, but still. Now granted, that's only a small piece of a board. They could get one board. Well, actually, that one's a long board. A board and a half and they can fix this, but it needs to be fixed. Since they wasted so much money on it, ain't no way they're gonna put a roof on it, which is stupid if they don't do. It needs to be treated, there needs to be a roof, there needs to be seating, there needs to be some type of fire protectant, especially with all this pine straw they got piled up. This one actually is back a few inches, but this one is almost over the daggum stuff. And that water spigot way down there, that's just, like I said, odds are nothing will happen. But should it start and should it hit that pine straw and should it take off, I mean, because you got two things that's possibly going to happen here. If people don't bring instant charcoal and they bring lighter fluid charcoal, that lighter fluid could get down there on the grass or whatever. The coals get on it. I hate that, but I mean, that's just, I mean, that's, like I said, I think the good of people, but I know accidents happen. And I would prepare for that accident. And they're not prepared. Water spigot way down there, where if people have not walked around and hunted for a water spigot ahead of time, I do that at campsites. I camp a lot. So I pay attention to stuff like that. But most people, if somebody that's going to use this, they're not going to go hunting a water supply. And then, like I said, on top of that, there's no fire extinguishers out here anywhere for them to run and grab. There should be somewhere through one of these doors or something, that community room right there, or be it a porta potty, there needs to be a place for people to go to the bathroom. And I'd say under there they need to put a drink machine of some kind. Got people out here gonna kill themselves in the heat and you ain't gonna give them anything to drink? But like I said, that ain't gonna happen anyway. Because if they come out here in the daylight, when that sun that's right out there is right over the top of them in Waycross, Georgia, when it's 100-something degrees, they ain't gonna stand on that deck and cook themselves. seeing if there's a water source in here. Doubt there is. No, no water source. So again, the only water source is way down